Hello, guys. It's me, Leo O'Brien, aka the Dragon Critic, and today I am with.
What's up, fellas?
All right, so me and Harry Thomas, we are going to be reviewing the soundtracks for both How to Train Your Dragon 1 and 2. Basically, I did this, yes, I did this before. I did this last year with Darkspawn PvP. Unfortunately, this year, DreamWorks blocked it because of the soundtrack. So I'm going to have to redo it. But this time with Harry Thomas. And there won't be any soundtracks, but we will be talking about track by track and like about the scenes. I'm excited to do this. We're gonna talk, but we want to give a bit of our backstory with How to Train Your Dragon. So Harry, give us your backstory with How to Train Your Dragon, like when the film came.
Uh, well, the first movie was released back in 2010. It's it's grabbed my interest for sure. I was ever so curious to see whether this movie would fare in the likes of Shrek and Kung Fu Panda, my personal favorites from DreamWorks, and I finally saw it and sat down with my cousin. She saw it with me, and in 2012, and it blew me the fuck away. Damn, I had no idea it'd be this good. It turned out to be my favorite DreamWorks movie ever. So yeah, and yeah, I still so yeah, I can't I still adore How to Train Your Dragon 8 years to this day.
To me, it was I saw ads of it on TV. I was like, nah, it looks okay. I remember seeing the trailer when I got one of the Penguins of Madagascar DVDs. It
Oh
was
yeah.
the one I think it was I can't remember the name. I think it was like Operation or something. But they put the trailer on. I was like, it looks okay. So and then a few weeks, my auntie bought me the bootleg DVD, and it was a cam file because obviously the film was only out in cinemas. And I watched it. I was like, holy shit, that is so good. And the thing happened with Kung Fu Panda, except just replace how to Train Your Dragon looking okay, replace that with Kung Fu Panda looking really weird and stupid. But Kung Fu Panda and How to Train Your Dragon, they're the kind of films that, yeah, they look cliche. The stories are very basic, but the way they're executed are absolutely phenomenal. And I can't wait to do this soundtrack review because yes, so How to Train Your Dragon, it is a great, it's fucking amazing, and it's easily like one of their best, and it's much better than the Boss Baby.
Oh, infinitely better. There's no comparison.
And I have got most of the books, and I read half of them, and the books are pretty decent, but I prefer the films. Now I know the film originally it was going to be really faithful to the book. Toothless was going to be small, but Dean DeBloy thought, oh, that's a bit too cute, bit too kiddie in places, so they changed it, and what we got was outstanding. So I think the books are a lot more kiddier than the film, but I do think like the books are good.
Yeah, but yeah, I have I read some of the books in my childhood, but I'm totally with you. The movies, they're far darker and more mature and sophisticated in their storytelling. So
Yeah, and Hiccup, like you actually see him grow. In the books, not so much. And I can't believe the book series went on to 2015, even after the sequel. So that is just well done, Cressida Cowell. So okay, so basically we're gonna talk about the soundtrack for the first movie, and then we're gonna talk about the second one soundtrack. So the first track we're gonna talk about is the beginning of the film. This is Burke. Now, what do you think of this track, Harry?
oh, this is Burke. Perfectly fits with Hiccup's opening quirk. This is Burke, and it starts out soothing and breathtaking, but once the dragon attack on Burke ensues, it immediately throws you into the action and becomes exhilarating. So
I think it's good. Don't get me wrong, like it's such a good track, but I think it's kind of that kind. It kind of feels a bit weird. Like it's kind of that old fashioned where it's just like the way it's being used at the start of it. Whenever you watch the beginning of the first film, well, whenever you watch the first film as a whole, it always feels brand new. And spoiler alert, it kind of feels weird to see Hiccup with both of his legs, considering the rest of the franchise he only has one leg.
Oh yeah. I Oh yeah, I know, right? This yeah, this is the one movie in the franchise where he has both of his legs. Well, for the majority of the movie, I guess. So yeah, and so yeah, so yeah, as a opening track to the movie, it's it hit all the right notes for me. Yeah, epic.
Yeah, I have to agree because I think, but like I think like Dragon Racing, I think is a bit superior. I think they both like they start off like calmly and then it cuts to like action going on, and I think the music as a whole is great, but I just think it kind of starts off that old '90s like Disney kind of music, but and the Boss Baby soundtrack.
Oh yeah, right. This soundtrack tops the Boss Babies soundtrack any day. I have I have forgotten about the Boss Babies soundtrack. It's so forgettable. But yeah, right.
No, all I can remember is the one in your review. Dun 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 dun
Oh
dun. Oh,
yeah.
your boss reviews like the thing where you open it, where you have a picture of you like terrorizing the movie.
Oh
It's
yeah.
out 13 times.
Thanks. Yep. It
Was
was more.
so 91% my.
Oh,
But no, I have to agree. This is Burke is a good beginning soundtrack, and the next track we have is Dragon Battle. So, what do you think of this one, Harry?
uh, Dragon Basel. Yeah, but this track was super intense. It's really well has it really has you worrying for the dragons really, and so yeah, I was yeah, this soundtrack, it really raised the stakes for the dragons for me, and I was yeah I yeah yeah, this is yeah, and even though Dragon Bassola isn't my favorite track in the soundtrack, I don't remember it as much as the others,
Yeah,
but
agree.
but it does do its job of keeping me gripped. So yeah, good track, but not exactly great.
Yeah, I will agree. I think when you see Hiccup in Race to the Edge, there's an episode of season 6 before the big event happens. I I don't know. There's a flashback. They actually use the same scene as the film, and you actually see Toothless fly with both tails. And then you basically what happens is Hiccup doesn't shoot him, and he fails. And I was like, oh, they just reused that scene. So I think I don't really get the whole point. Like, it kind of feel like I don't really get how Hiccup like shoots him, and then later on, him and Toothless become friends. But I
I
think like it's a
I
good
I
track.
know,
Like I
right?
agree with you. But no. So next up on the list is the Downed Dragon. A Downed Dragon is a dead dragon.
Oh yes, as Gobber says. Well, and
Yeah. Did you know that Craig Ferguson actually wants to bring in Taron Egerton, who's in the Kingsman movies, to have a cameo in the new one?
oh yeah. Um, uh, glad Craig Ferguson's getting work.
Yeah, but no, I think the Down Dragon. I don't really know much to say. I think I can't. I don't know. Is that the one where Hiccup finds Toothless?
Yeah, but that's where Hiccup finds is Toothless after he shot him down. He's preparing to stab him with the knife, but he can't bring himself to. So he sets. So he spares Toothless.
Yeah, but I liked the beginning music, like dun 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 dun, and most of the soundtrack in this film. It's a lot peaceful than the second one, and hopefully the third one is going to be just as good as the second films. And I think the track it's pretty good for what it is. I like how when Toothless when it zooms in to his eye, it's really like intimidating. Like it's meant to show off that the dragons are wow, Toothless, wow, his species are really intimidating. You know what I'd actually like to see in the third film? I'd like to see I wonder if Grimmel knows Stoic. Like, I wonder if Grimmel would be connected to him in a way. And
Oh,
then,
oh yeah, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Grimmauld is well has a backstory with Stoic. That'll
yeah, I think the way Stoic they kept trying to look for they said any Night Fury is good. Would that mean could that obviously when the Night Furies were around when Grimmel would hunt them down like he says in the trailer he's hunted every Night Fury. Would that mean that Stoic has that Grimmel has beef could have beef with Stoic, and when he goes to Burke in the third, he says to Hiccup, "Oh, are you are the I've heard about you. You're the son of Stoic." And then Hiccup says, "Oh, he died, and because he did in the last film." But I'd like to see flashbacks with the other Night Furies. Like we've never seen another Night Fury. Like we've never seen they could they look different? Could their design look different? I doubt it, but maybe.
um yeah right yeah I'm sure there'll be a flashback to if to how yeah Stoic and Grimmauld met and if yeah I guess Stoic was involved with Grimmauld at the time he was hunting the Night Furies to extinction, but they fell
That
out.
is interesting continuity. And I think Grimmel's going to be the Lord Shen of How to Train Your Dragon because they've hunted every panda in Night Fury.
Exactly.
They probably will. But next track on the soundtrack album is Dragon Training. So this is the track where Hiccup is trying to fight while he almost gets killed, but Gobber saves his life. So I think this track is quite intense. It gives the scene very serious, but I think it kind of and it's funny with the other characters acting pretty much idiots like Rough Nut and Tough Nut and Snotlout. And
Astrid takes it seriously. She's the one who
yeah,
does.
he's kind of the more aggressive one, and then Snotlout, he's just wants to get with Astrid. He doesn't really care what's going on. And then Fish Legs at the start, he's like, "Oh, 500," like he's counting down how he knows everything. And then Gobber goes, "Can you please stop that?" And it's just kind of it gives the scene a bit of it gives it a bit of intent and excitement. So I think the track it goes well, and it probably will be in my top five. I'll have to think about that.
Um, yeah, but this track may be in my top five. We'll see. But yeah, it's certainly combined comedy music with dramatic music perfectly.
And the next one we have is Wounded. This is, I believe, it's when Hiccup finds out about Toothless. It's when he sees that he can't fly, and he's like, "Why don't you just fly away?" And it kind of gives the scene a bit of mystery that what Toothless could be like and what Toothless is, and it kind of means that Toothless, oh, when you go near him, he means death. And I think they kind of want, and I think it kind of shows that Toothless is meant to be like a really powerful dragon, and I think they're going to experience that in the third film.
Yeah, but without a doubt, and especially since he's the alpha in the third movie, he's gonna be using his badass lightning abilities as we saw in the trailer, and
I actually it was actually because if you look very closely, his skin kind of changes. Would Toothless turn into a Skrill?
oh yeah, I suppose so. If
The Skrill was in Defenders of Berk. He was the dragon that Dagger used, and then the Skrill was like the main. He was kind of like a villain dragon along with the Whispering Death, and those dragons were really intimidating.
I know, right? Yeah, and they terror, yeah, terrified the life out of me. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be awesome if he can.
Yeah, but I really like. I don't like. But then again, I think the track it's good, and I think it fits the scene. I think each track would fit the scene.
Yeah, but this track it has emotional depth to it. So it
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 does.
it it helps you cry for Toothless once you see he's lost his tail and his flights in the process.
And I like how he kind of just wants to go in the water just to like go fishing. And it's kind of cool because in the teaser you actually see Toothless flying and all that.
Oh yeah, and how the trailer. Oh yeah, and he isn't so vulnerable in this sequence as
Yeah,
the
that
trailer.
teaser in the DVD for Monsters vs. Aliens, which is it's not one of their best, but it's enjoyable.
Agrees.
But okay, so after Wounded, we have this one be one of our probably one of our favorites. This would be the Dragon Book.
Oh, this track had man, this had my heart racing as Hiccup was going through the book and was like reading all these dragons, each saying extremely dangerous, kill on sight until he finally comes to the Night Fury. And this one doesn't give the advice extremely dangerous, kill on sight, but instead it's like your only chance
I
hiding.
actually it kind of makes me the master of Night Furies, and it kind of makes me think that when Hiccup grows to be with the bearded man and all that, he knows everything about Night Furies, and Toothless could be the king. And speaking of that, in the teaser, in the trailer, you can actually see Toothless has got a bigger six pack, and he's actually grown as well. Like he has no saddle on in that shot with Hiccup with a beard.
Oh yeah, I guess he doesn't need the Sazzle anymore. He's outgrown it. But yeah, one Hiccup he outsmarted the book on Night Furies. He knew that everything the book he knew everything the book explained about them was bullshit. Simply.
Yeah, and I can't like I like how there's like a wind and he goes like thinking here, and it kind of gives the scene a bit of like this really terrifying like sense to it.
Uh, totally. Yeah, that made me jump. Yeah, and
Ah! But there isn't a dragon actually in there. But I have Focus Hiccup.
oh yeah, a focus Hiccup. This track, this this may not make my top five, but it's a jolly soundtrack. It's one of the more upbeat ones of the track when they're in the Dragon Arena training against the Nada Stormflyer, who becomes Astrid's dragon, and
I actually kind of like how Astrid like fails, and there, and that's her. That's about to be her dragon, and Hiccup kind of isn't that no doesn't isn't that the scene where Hiccup gives her the scratch, right?
yep, sort of.
Yes. Yeah, and then Hiccup kind of gets it outwelled, and then it's a good scene. And it's one of the good, like a lot of the film. It fleshes out the characters, it gives them growth and develops them, and it does a great job giving out these different characters.
For sure, and it develops it develops each character throughout, and this moment was really Astrid's moment she's where she fails for the first time, and she's like outraged at Hiccup. She's like, our parents' war is about to become ours. Figure out whose side you're on, and I'm like, I'd be on the dragon side.
Yeah, I think so, but like, I can see why some people don't think Astrid's that good of a character here, because I will admit she kind of is a bit of a bitch. But so was Tigress in the first Kung Fu Panda, so I think both characters, they started off very aggressive, but then they ended up like hopefully being the love interest, and I hope they do develop Typo in the next film.
Yeah, think, yeah, fingers crossed. Astrid and Tigress have a similar character arc.
I want to see their relationship with Hiccup and Poe go through a lot, and I think Hiccup's in it seems very likely it's going to be like the Shrek 2, less comedic, if you get what I mean.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But I think like when they find the life theory, it'll be probably Hiccup and Astrid's honeymoon. Because like in the start of it, when Hiccup goes, "Oh, we did the world's first dragon, Viking Utopia," could that mean that this is when Hiccup marries Astrid because everyone is there? So
Uh, oh yeah, and fingers crossed we'll have the wedding of Hiccup and Astrid in the third movie.
yeah, and I want to see that. Next track. Oh yes, this is one of the very romantic, forbidden friendship. This is the track where Hiccup and Toothless become good friends, and they're best friends.
Oh yes, the track where Toothless does his drawing in the ground, and Hiccup does his best not to step on it. And this is Hiccup and Toothless's.
Yeah, I like it, but like I don't really like the bit where it's like that when Hiccup's about to touch Toothless. It kind of feels a bit too like girly, but it's still good, and I think it kind of gives the film an emotional scene to grow on, and I think it's scene, and it's a wonderful scene to look at, and
I
I
know,
think
right?
it's good. The third start off with um all these kids or something, and then it cuts to that scene. There were dragons when I was a boy.
Oh yeah, it was rightfully used for the trailer for the third movie. Yes, such a adorable sequence.
That line is actually the very beginning of the book. Always say that there were dragons when I was a boy.
Oh yeah, the very beginning of the book, and it's at the very conclusion of the movies, and yeah, this track is easily in my top five.
That would
it
probably be in my top three, but number two, I think that would be no top three. It would be Forbidden Friendship, then Sticks and Stones, which I'll probably talk about later, and then I'd pick Test Drive, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. But after Forbidden Friendship, we have New Tail. So this is when Hiccup gives Toothless the new tail, and then Hiccup tries to ride Toothless, but things doesn't go so well. And Hiccup enjoys it because he goes, "Yeah!" And I was like, "You seriously need to ride that dragon very well, Hiccup."
oh yeah, oh yeah, and Hiccup takes a plunge into the lake with Toothless. Hilarious.
Oh, it's so funny, and it gives. But it kind of gives. I like how at the start of it, Toothless doesn't like the eel, and then Hiccup goes, "Oh, I don't like that much either." And then I kind of think this scene kind of foreshadows a bit, cause Hiccup saying he doesn't like that much either, and then in the next film, Valka finds out Toothless is Hiccup's age, and then she's like, "Oh, no wonder you get a wet get on so well," and you can kind of see that scene kind of foreshadows that.
Oh yeah, it foreshadows how close they are, since they're the exact same age as Valka.
And
And
Hiccup and Toothless are going to be 21 in the next one. It's been confirmed that the third year after the second, and then the rest of it is going to be like years after the trilogy.
oh, oh, epic! So, whoa, what a time gap!
Yep. All right. So the next track we have is "See You Tomorrow," and this is the one where Hiccup starts working on the new tale. He starts getting all the praise, and everyone's getting impressed by him. And well, he's getting more credit as a hero.
Oh yeah, and this track I guess would be not in my top five necessarily, but in my top 10. It's an uplifting track. You're like, yes, fuck yeah, and Hiccup, you're on a roll. You have finally overcome everybody who's ever doubted you, and you not only are you bonding with Toothless, you're finally accepted by Burke. So yeah, this is one of the more positive tracks.
I do agree, and I think although I don't really get like why Astrid gets so angry at him,
Well,
but
she's a little jealous. She was.
yeah, but the next track now, I think we all have to agree. I can actually no, hang on. I want to talk about a bit about Not So Fireproof. That's the scene where Hiccup's hair is all burnt up, where it's all like messy. I think it's a really funny scene, seeing the terrible terrors, and then Toothless like fires at his mouth, and then he starts laughing like, "Oh."
Oh yeah, yeah. Toothless owned that terrible terror.
Oh, it's so laughable though. But all right, but the next track now, this is my favorite, and I think we can both agree. Test Drive. It's the scene where Hiccup is riding Toothless.
Oh, this track. This is the greatest track in the entire soundtrack. It
I
is
completely
epic.
agree. I com. This is like an absolute amazing soundtrack. It is beautiful. It is absolutely outstanding and so good, and you really feel that Hiccup is now like flying for the first time.
Oh yeah, and finally he has uh, mastered dragon flights, and he's the first on Burke to ever ride a dragon, which is and yeah, but the legend is born, and I like this track so much. I like it better than any track in the Toy Story 3 soundtrack. I'd go that far. Um,
Fair enough. Oh, speaking of foreshadowing, did you know that in this first film, when Astrid says, "You must be a horrible, you lost your father, you lost your tribe, your best friend," and in the second film, that actually happens.
Oh yeah. Only in the second film, it's even sadder as Hiccup's literally lost almost everything.
I know, and like Drago, like it's such. Oh, I'll talk about that when we get to the second one, but like, oh man, that is these movies, along with Kung Fu Panda and Legend of the Guardians, they are such good foreshadowing, and it's so mature and just so beautiful.
I know, right? Each movie sets up the other.
It really does with a foreshadowing. But after Test Drive, which is amazing, we have the track where Astrid thinks she's gonna win this time for sure, and then Hiccup actually wins. Now there's not much to say about it because it's only on for 44 seconds, but it's kind of one of the other scenes where Astrid shows that she's really, really pissed off about Hiccup.
Yep. She at this point says she just wants to kick his ass
Yeah,
for beating
and I
her.
actually in the next scene, she actually gets like so annoyed.
I know, right? She goes as far as going out to Hiccup's hiding place and to just uh, yeah, to just find out what's his secrets and and yeah, and I and she finally discovers the truth about Toothless and all. Yeah, this track
Oh
it
yeah,
is.
did you know the trailer? The bit where Astrid goes, "Who is him? Toothless. This is Astrid. Astrid Toothless." And Astrid actually goes, "You are so busted out."
Oh, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, they never. Oh yeah, they never spoiled that in the trailer, which I'm pleased about. So yeah, this track I also have little to say about it it just lasts for 40 seconds.
And then the next
But
track also lasts for that as well. But this is Astrid goes for a spin, which is when Toothless starts getting all really pissed that she really doesn't like him, and then
uh,
it kind of shows that Toothless can get angry and it kind of convinces Astrid to actually appreciate Toothless. But then what happens is Astrid actually warms up to Hiccup and Toothless, a bit like how Tigress warms up to Poe.
oh yeah, when Toothless finally calms down after spinning and he takes her on that calming ride through the skies.
And then the next flight, I mean, sorry, I said the next flight, the next track we have Romantic Flight, and this track is beautiful, and this would be probably my fourth favorite, yeah. And it's so really shows that Astrid loves Hiccup and Toothless that she really now warms up. She really regrets all that hatred and jealousy. And I love the bit when Hiccup and Toothless and Astrid fly in to the on top of the moon, where it transitions from sunset to nighttime. When they're on top of the clouds, it actually reminds me so much of the DreamWorks logo.
Me too. Dream DreamWorks love their clouds.
They really do, and they did it with this. I think they did it the most with this film. And also, did you know that the sheep in Penguins of Madagascar is actually from How to Train Your Dragon?
Oh yeah, nice Easter egg.
Yeah, it kind of shows that DreamWorks really likes How to Train Your Dragon because they really do. But then again, they also ignore it along with, especially Kung Fu Panda, because I mean, Boss Baby came out last year instead of the third film.
I know, right? So that sucks.
But I like this track, and then it really shows that Astrid really warmed up to Toothless. And then after that, we have Dragon's Den, and this it shows the Red Death, which is the Tai Long of How to Train Your Dragon. What do you think of this track, Harry?
Oh yeah, and this yeah, this track it's intimidating once they enter the Red Death's den and the dragons are forced to feed the Red Death or they'll be swallowed themselves. And then it gets ever so it becomes ever so sweet and adorable once Astrid she finally has a change of heart about Hiccup and Toothless, and she hits him for kidnapping her, but kisses him for everything else.
Yeah, and then Toothless starts looking at Hiccup like, "What are you up to?" And then Hiccup goes, "What are you looking at?" Oh, have you seen the video? How to Train Your Dragon 2 should have ended, where Hiccup goes, "Why do all the Vikings not have an American accent while we do?" And then Astrid goes, "That is so weird." And then Toothless goes off saying, "Tell me about it."
I know, right? I was curious about that. How come the teenage Vikings they're American and yet the adult Vikings they're Scottish?
Ah, it just shows that when you grow up, you start to become Scottish if you're a Viking.
Exactly.
I actually wonder if Burke what did exist. I wonder. That'd be a good question.
Well, I guess so. Once.
But after that, we have the Cove.
Oh yeah, the Cove. Is oh yeah, is this the track where where is this the track where Toothless rescues Hiccup from the monstrous nightmare?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Or I think that's the Kill Ring. Well, we'll talk about them together because then we only have a few left, and then we can talk about the second one, which has the more superior soundtrack. But I think those two tracks are they're pretty good, and I like how Hiccup really wants Astrid to look at, see if to hope Toothless is okay, that that he's not found, and it kind of it gives a good it gives good it kind of gives Astrid that now Hiccup and Astrid are good friends. And I don't really, this is kind of a plot hole, but when Hiccup screams, Toothless that he actually hears him. But the thing is that Hiccup was about to show everyone that you don't have to fight them. But he was about to set it up until Stoic had to be a big prick about it.
I know, right? Said yes, Stoic single-handedly almost got said Hiccup murdered by by setting off the monstrous nightmare.
I think Stoic and Shifu are they're so like they really don't like Hiccup and Poe at in the first film.
Oh yeah, right. As yeah, yeah, they're extremely similar. Shifu's pissed off with Poe since Poe was chosen to be the Dragon Warrior over his students, and Stoic he disowns Hiccup for just being a failure fitting in with the Dragon Killers at Burke.
Yeah, but I think it kind of I think this film would have the most like scary up tense, and then the second film like more darker, and so does the original Kung Fu Panda have it with Tai Long especially. But I think, and I also, it is a bit cliche when Stoic goes, "Oh, you're not a Viking. You're not one of us. You're not my son." And then he later on apologizes. But I think, but I didn't mind it. Like it's not annoying, but you can kind of see in Stoic's eyes that he really does want to. He just really did get scared of his own son and was worried about his safety.
Oh yeah. He oh yeah, he deeply cares for Hiccup no matter what. But
Did you know that Jared Butler actually said in one of the interviews for Geostorm that he did a bit on Dragon 3 and he thinks it's beautiful? That's going to be the best one.
of oh yeah, and well, if Jared Butler is convinced that three will be the best of the trilogy, I I'm I I can't wait to see if that's the case. So if
I
I
really, really hope it's so good. Or like Ollie once said to me that he really wants to give it a 10, and I really want to give it a 10 as well.
me too. I
I really want
Yeah, and yeah, fingers crossed. We'll rate it tens, and yeah, I if yes, it's in. So yeah, and I guess Jared Butler will be. I guess he's voice acting the Stoic in a flashback sequence.
or maybe as a ghost, but
Oh
I
yeah,
don't really need of like what. Well, maybe this is for when Grimmel shows like when he's talking, and maybe that could prove that Grimmel was connected with Stoic, but we'll just have to wait and see.
yeah.
But but after that we have ready the ships. This is when Hiccup he when at the foreshadowing happens, Stoic like he grabs Toothless and then Hiccup gets the others ready, and this scene's kind of exciting, and it kind of gives me a bit of a vibe when in Legend of the Guardians, when the Guardians keep getting all their battle claws, and then you see Boron face with the mask, and oh, that scene is so good. They're just great and really intense and exciting.
Oh yeah. Similarities to Legend of the Guardians for sure, especially as this movie was released the exact same year as Guardians, and yeah, yeah, this soundtrack, it's it raises the tension. It makes you feel like all hope is lost, a Toothless is captured, and you're like to Hiccup, Astrid, and the Dragon Riders, get your asses over to the nest and rescue Toothless already.
Yeah, but I like how in the scene, like Hiccup actually like snot out. He goes, "Wait, what are you doing?" Like you can see in the character's eyes that they're really, really worried about the dragons, and I think Hiccup would be crazy that to trust a dragon. But he actually is the first person. Other well, think it well. He's kind of the second because the first one being his man.
Oh yeah, Hiccup. He certainly inherits his dragon skills from Valka.
Well, now you know where he gets his dramatic flair.
Sure.
But after that, we have the big battle. This is what this. All right, we'll talk about these all together. Battle in the Green Death and counterattack, and this is when the big fight goes on with the green. Oh, it says here, battle in the Green Death. I'm just gonna
Oh,
call him the Red
it
Death,
should
but
be Red Death.
the final fight between the Riders and the Red Death, because it really is the epic scene of the film, and it really
Yep.
gives intense to the film, and it shows that they really want him dead because the Red Death is kind of the alpha lord of the first film. But I'd like to see how the Red Death would fight up against the Bewilderbeast.
Oh yeah, and would I yeah, the B Wildebeest may well uh uh kick the Red Dev's ass in a showdown
Well,
since
well, I think so, yeah. But then again, which Bewilderbeast would be the strongest, Velkas or Dragos? Because remember, one of them died, unfortunately.
oh yeah, I guess Dragos would be the stronger. Dragos would be capable of stabbing the Red Death with its tusks.
Yeah, but the Bewilderbeasts are like so powerful. But after that, we have the ending of the film. Where's Hiccup? And then this is where Stoic gets worried about his own son, and he brought him back alive. But I think like they kind of ended the scene a bit off by saying Gobber saying, "Well, most of them," and he even did it in the second film where you can marry me. Sorry.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, Gobber does interrupt the emotional moments a little, but yeah, this
Cool. A great track as a whole.
oh yeah, totally yeah, but yeah, this track this is in my top five. It made me cry, where I was worried that Hiccup and Toothless I was worried that I was worried that we'd lost them. I was so
Wait,
relieved to find they were okay.
2010 or 2012?
I saw it in 2012.
All right. And then after that, we have the ending of the film, coming back around, and I like how it shows that Burke has like a load of dragons, like they're loaded, and then it's obviously continued in the TV show and the shorts. And I like how he really like Hiccup just looks amazed by what he sees, and everyone's proud of him, and Astrid loves him now. And then I like how the track ends off with them flying, and then Hiccup goes, "We have our dragons."
Yep. Whoa. One wonderful wrap up to the first movie. Yeah, Hiccup.
And
He
then and then after that we have the Vikings had their tea, which there's not much to say about it because it's only in the end credits.
Oh yeah, right. Uh, yeah, it's just it's a fitting song for the end credits and does its best. But isn't the other end credits song "Sticks and Stones"?
Yes, I was about to start talking about that, but yeah, this is the last track, and then we talk about the sequel, which has a superior track. But no, I think Sticks and Stones, it's good, but it kind of like I think it's a bit like messed up how you don't really get like you can't really understand the lyrics like you can, but I think Where No One Goes was a bigger improvement, and it showed that that like that, and it like don't it doesn't really fit the tone of the film, but I still like the song for what it is. I think the sequel improved on with Where No One Goes, but yes, so that is, but it's still a great track, and it's a good song on its own. But yes, so that is the first film soundtrack. And what do you think of the first film soundtrack as a whole?
Um, I've John Pell, you knocked it out of the park, Buzzy. I I absolutely love this soundtrack. Yeah, but the sound, yeah, this it's an emotional and heartwarming and beautiful track that's that gets me emotional every time, even if it is weaker than the second movie's soundtrack. It's still one of DreamWorks' finest soundtracks.
It
Period.
is definitely, and hopefully the Hidden World soundtrack. And I kind of think the reason why they give it a subtitle, along with the reasons, but it's probably because they want to go all fancy with it because it's the final one.
Exactly.
But yes, so that is the first film. I love the first film soundtrack, and I love the first film as well. And I'd give the first film 10 out of 10. But now let's talk about How to Train Your Dragon 2. So
Woohoo!
yeah, woohoo! So the first track is we have Dragon Racing. Now, this is sort of similar to the first movie, but it's more exciting and more lighthearted because it really shows that Burke has changed 5 years later on after the shorts, Riders and Defenders of Burke and Race to the Edge, and it's absolutely incredible seeing all the characters change and seeing the dragon racing, and it gives the scene so much excitement. And I like how Gobber kind of pisses off Stoic. You kind of scared him with a big talk, didn't you, Stoic? And then it just cuts to Astrid like talking, saying, "Oh, you're acting like Egypt." And I like how Astrid like wins because she's the best rider. And then it cuts to Hiccup. But I think Dragon Racing is absolutely amazing soundtrack, and I love the bit where it goes no 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 no. It's so good, and I'm happy they used it in the third film's trailer.
Me, me too. And it immediately it's so iconic. It immediately lets you know this is How to Train Your Dragon. That you're watching whenever you hear it. So definitely,
And I love how it's exciting. Like it really feels brand new. Like it feels like a brand new story.
well, yeah, exactly. It feels original. It's not just rehashing tracks from the first movie.
But after Dragon Racing, we have Hiccup. This is after when Hiccup and Toothless are flying. This is Together We Map the World. This is when Hiccup is talking to Toothless and they're like mapping the world and seeing all these different islands and all that. And I believe he has this map in Race to the Edge. I can't remember it, but it's cool and I like the map itself.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this track is one of the more calming of How to Train Your Dragon 2, and a little less epic, but that works here, and it's beautifully develops the bond and friendship with Hiccup and Toothless when they're like dragons and Vikings, enemies again, and itchy
Oh yeah, and
arms.
they actually show that in the second trailer, and oh, enemies again locked, and then Toothless licks him, and he even does it at the end. It's just so funny.
You
I think
know that doesn't wash out, and
he really brings a lot of the comedy, and I think he's going to do it a lot in the third film when he's flirting.
oh yeah, he may be the protagonist of the third movie, and this sequence also develops the romance with Hiccup and Astrid, and
It
it's
does, yes, it does. Because and then Hiccup says at the start of it, it's not me doing speeches and running the village. That's his thing. And then like and then near that, like if they didn't kill off Stoic, Hiccup would have been just this boy. He would have just been normal and all that.
exactly in this movie he truly becomes the man.
He really does take his place, although we don't see much of him being the chief, and hopefully the next one's going to focus on Hiccup being the chief. But after that, we have um, Hiccup the chief. Drago's coming. So this is when I believe it's when Astrid Hiccup they go to the iceberg, and then they find Era, and then they get surprised, and then it cuts to you know what I find similar is that the dragon hunters, Drago, they're capturing every dragon. That's kind of like the pure ones capturing every owl so they can be pure ones.
Oh yeah, it's oh yeah, and they're similar. So they're convincing the dragons to join Drago's cult, similar to how Messelbeak persuades the younger owls to join his cult.
That
Yeah,
was crack as well and really, really creepy.
yeah, oh yeah, the south this track it starts out creepy, and it's and it remain and it has and it's full of tension once we finally do.
Well, and I like Eric, like he really shows this is what he gave me last time I turned up empty handed. And I don't know if you know about this, but do you know about the villain Krogan in Race to the Edge? He's the one that's connected to Drago.
um the villain Krogo sort of I vaguely remember Krogo.
Krogan is the villain of Race to the Edge. I think you might know him when you do start like Race to the Edge, because Race to the Edge is so good. But yeah, but then Krogan obviously like Drago, he goes, no one failed me twice, and really no one does fail him twice, because if you do, you're executed, man.
Yeah, but if you literally once Ernest fails him twice later on in the movie, Drago orders his execution.
And it's like so, but yeah, it's a good track, but I kind of think, and then I kind of see that Hiccup's kind of being an Egypt saying, no, everything will be okay, I can talk to him, I can sort this out. But Hiccup really doesn't know like what he's capable of. And I like how it kind of can, and they really tie this in with Race to the Edge, and it really makes the TV Race to the Edge in this film connected.
Um, oh yeah, totally.
Know if
Race.
I can show you that scene after we're done this, but if you want to. But yeah, it's a good like I love like the sound I love the second film soundtrack.
Me too. It's awesome how Race to the Edge ties into and foreshadows How to Train Your Dragon too.
It kind of sets it up, but after that we have Toothless Lost, and this is when Toothless is he gets like hit by these other dragons, and I like this scene. It's a bit emotional, and then Hiccup's helmet falls down. But I like how Toothless he's like he's like he's really upset about Hiccup and how he's lost. But the thing I don't get is that how did another dragon pick him up? But did Valka send another dragon? Because
Yeah, she heard Hiccup's request. Please help my dragon. He can't fly on his own. He'll drown.
probably. But we have to wait. But then again, that's on the next track. But it's a really dark scene for the film. And it really does get really intense and more deeper and deeper. And then in the second trailer, Valka obviously says, I think you know a lot about dragons.
Oh yeah. Uh, yeah. She. We thought she would be intimidating at first,
We
but yeah.
actually, when I first saw the mask, I was like, "Holy shit!" It's so scary when you first see her mask. And then obviously one time I watched the film and my brother was saying to me, "Man, Jesus Christ, that mask is scary." And then my mum goes, "Yeah, it really is." But like then again, it gives the like you really think Valka is the villain, but she isn't. Originally, she actually was going to be a villain.
What? Oh, thank God that didn't happen.
Because and they might do that with the third film, but I doubt it. But hopefully not, because I don't want to see her turn into a villain. But no, but after that, then it's Should I Know You? This is when Valka reveals herself, and when we find out it's his mom, it's like, what? Hiccup's mom is alive? That's kind of similar to Poe's dad being alive at the end of the second one.
Oh yeah, DreamWorks keeps the parents alive, unlike Disney movies, which kill them off in each movie.
Everyone has to die in a Disney movie,
Oh no,
unfortunately. Well,
right?
Zootopia, I think. Oh, I don't remember. It's been a while since I saw Zootopia.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and everybody lived in Zootopia. That's an exception.
But I like how I find it similar to Poe, Lloyd, and Hiccup in because Poe's mother was killed off by Shen, and his father's alive. They went the other way around with Hiccup. His mom is alive. His father was killed. And they did the same with Lloyd. His father sacrifices himself, and his mom is still with him.
Oh, oh yeah. This. Oh yeah, this movie is the reverse of the Kung Fu Panda movies. Although it does work to have Hiccup. Oh, Haley.
Oh, I was wondering what happened to you.
Oh, ever so sorry. My Wi-Fi briefly shut off, but I'm back.
It's okay, but we were on Should I Know You?
Oh,
And yes, so
oh,
this is the track where, and you were saying that they reversed it the other way around with Hiccup and Poe, like with the parents.
exactly. And it is a reverse, and it's also it works to have Hiccup meet his mother in this movie, as we see he's far more he got his dragon skills and his love of dragons from Valka. She was literally the defender of dragons back in the day on Berk, unlike Stoic.
Yeah, because Valka was like, "No, you're gonna make it worse. Burke was a land of kill or be killed." But I believe peace was possible. I actually might watch one of the second film tonight. But like, it's so outstanding How to Train Your Dragon 2, and I love. And in Turkey they actually call it Ejderhana Nasıl Ejistin, and it's the third film be out in Turkey on January 25th. So I might watch it online, but I don't know. I doubt I will because it's coming out February 1st in our country.
Oh, awesome! I'd love a cinematic viewing with the third movie.
Oh, it's gonna be outstanding. But I love Should I Know You, and it's kind of like, oh my god, they actually reveal who Valka is. But then again, if this was distributed by another studio, they wouldn't have gave that away because 20th Century Fox love to give away a shit ton of stuff in their movie trailers.
Constantly. They spoil the entire movie, but not How to Train Your Dragon too.
Yeah, but it wasn't a big thing, but it was just to show what happens. But after that, after Should I Know You, we have Valka's Dragon Sanctuary, and this is a similar track to Panda Village from Kung Fu Panda 3. But I think both of these tracks, they're really, really and it really feels like Hiccup and Poe, they're discovering a village that they've never seen before.
I I know I know right said yeah oh yeah flying with mother it's breathtaking
And
and
and I love how Wildebeest, how he's introduced, and oh, but the babies, of course, who listen to no one, and then like you see the babies annoy, like the Wildebeest. But I like how I love the Dragon Sanctuary, and then along with that we have losing mom, and and she goes, "You and your father nearly died that night, all because I couldn't kill the dragon." But I like how emotional, like you can see it in her eyes that she really was beginning to cry that that her husband and son would have been dead. But then it's funny because they all thought she was eaten by dragons.
I I know right said yeah and uh so uh yeah her showing up just uh, uh makes that theory totally false. And yeah, it was emotional that she felt a little guilty that her husband and son could have died that night if she hadn't sort of if she'd have done nothing. But yeah, flying with mother.
And a lot of it has to go to Kate Blanchett and everyone. Like in the first film, yeah, they're pretty good, but like everyone in the second film tops the voice acting.
Oh yeah, everybody in How to Train Your Dragon 2 is just astonishing at voice acting, especially Kate
Although
Blanchett.
to be honest, Velka does sound a lot like a man in places.
Oh yeah, a little. I guess when Kate Blanchett she's putting on a Scottish a voice, so her voice did sound a little manly.
But I like how Poe and Hiccup, when they're first meeting their father slash mother for the first time, you can really feel the emotions that they feel. Like, wow, they're actually alive.
Yeah, but they're ever so relieved, and oh yeah, and the scene concludes with Valker and Hiccup. They have the the exact same goal. They they plan to unite the Vikings and dragons in peace one day.
Oh yeah, I do agree that it really does make the characters feel connected, and you can see like, and then Hiccup goes, "Now you know how I got my dramatic flair." But after that, we have a big track, Meet Drago, and actually no, this is a bit weird because Meet Drago is after Flying with Mother, and it's in the list. Stoic Finds Beauty is before Flying with Mother, but we'll talk about Flying with Mother. I love this scene. I love it. It is so breathtaking. It is just amazing.
Oh yeah, it's magnificent. It is just with a Hiccup and Valker, and they are just rising out, and Valker's B Wildebeest comes up and just spurts out the fish for Valker's dragons, and yeah, you can see that Hiccup got his flying techniques from his mother, and he even shows her what he can do in the skies. It's just it's perfect bonding.
It is indeed, and it really makes these movies, like it really makes the character moments like so good, and you don't get any of that in Boss Baby.
Nope, Boss Baby had zero character development.
It was Pile of shit. Like what Black Critic guy called North of the North, polar shit.
Holy shit! Oh yeah, Boss Baby is baby shit.
It pretty much is. But no, just that movie is atrocious. And people like call Shark Tale the worst. I don't really see the hate for Shark Tale. I really don't get the hate for it.
Yeah, it's not that bad. I've seen far worse from DreamWorks.
Like, it's
Shrek.
definitely better than shit we'd get nowadays. But yeah, but Flying with Mother is breathtaking. And then we have Meet Drago, and this is when Drago he's built like the way they built him up is this really, really powerful villain. And he really is threatening. He is Kai of How to Train Your Dragon. He even has the same hair as
Oh yeah,
Kai.
Leopard Lama mentioned that his in her trailer review, his designer was almost exactly identical to Kai.
I actually can't wait for Leo Lam's review for Kung Fu Panda 3. I really can't wait to see that.
Me neither.
But yeah, he really is similar to Kai, and I think Drago, he like really is intimidating, and he really is scared. He's walking confident. He's not afraid of doing anything. And like Ben, I don't know if you watch him, but do you watch the YouTuber Ben Ramsey who did a review on the second film? He's in England
Uh,
as well, by the way.
Ben Ramsey. Oh, not exactly. I'll certainly check him out.
But he said Drago's kind of that character where there's like that board game and there's like that move that you can wipe out the other person's score. Drago kind of does that to Hiccup.
Oh yeah. Sort of. When uh what does Drago do again? Sorry.
Drago, he like wipes out. It's like why he wipes out everything in Hiccup's life. He like does that thing in the board game where you wipe out that other person's score.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, he takes away literally everything from Hiccup later on in the movie. From his father, his dragon, and peace between Vikings and dragons. He's the opposite of Hiccup.
He
He's
really is. I love backstory. It's so like scary, and I can't believe the film actually had the balls to put that in, where Drago actually has like no arm, but like then he goes tear them apart, and then it's like Drago and Shen. They really did have a really bad backstory with their family.
oh oh yeah. They yeah and uh Oh yeah, oh yeah, and Stoic and Drago briefly encountered, and Drago literally after he's mocked by the other chiefs of Burke, he literally calls his dragons in and he slaughters
They
them.
did they actually show that clip in Race to the Edge, and I'll show you that later. But it's so like I love Drago. He is scary though. He is the villain of the film, and I can't wait to see how they top him with Grimmel.
Uh, me, me neither. I can't wait to see if Drago is either a servant of Grimmel or the son of Grimmel. We'll see.
But after that we have Stoic finds beauty, and this is when Stoic finds Valka for the first time. I love how emotional this scene is, but I also love how funny it is when Gobber goes, "This is why I never marry." This sent one other reason. He doesn't want to get into a fight with his wife, and I don't think I'll get married either.
Um. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Gobber isn't. Oh yeah. Gobber is single. I never thought of that. Oh yeah. But yeah. The oh yeah. When Stoic meets Valka, this sequence, I cry like a baby when he's like, "You're as beautiful as the day I lost you."
I thought he like says you're as beautiful as a deer loved you. I'm like, what are you saying? But I like how Stoic just kisses him. but it's kind of, and I love how all the dragons are just look away.
I oh yeah. Um, oh yeah, they just look away. Yeah, and hilarious. And yep, the yeah, and I'm relieved that Stoic got to meet Valka and learn that she's alive one last time before his death.
And originally they were gonna make Valka a traitor, that she'd get her Bewilderbeast to destroy everyone. I was like, wow, that would have been quite a bit too much. But I'm glad they changed that.
Yeah, Drago works better as the antagonist.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to see Valka become a traitor. It doesn't feel right because Hiccup's only after meeting her. But we have for the dancing and dreaming.
Oh, this moment. This is one of my top 5 favorite in the entire soundtrack. Screw Let It Go from Frozen. This song,
Yes,
yeah, this song is infinitely better than Let It Go. How dare the Academy give an Academy Award to Let It Go, and they don't give for Dancing and for Dreaming even a nomination? This song, it warms and melts my heart seeing Stoic and Valka just dance and sing together. I'm like they're a family again. It's beautiful, which is what.
it is indeed beautiful, and it's just like they all, will you be my wife once again? And it really, like, remember our song Val, and well, one of the problems when I first saw the movie, I was like, wait, why is he calling him Val? I thought his name was Valka. Well,
Oh,
her.
oh yeah. Uh, I guess he calls her Val for short. But
Yeah, but I think like for the dancing and dreaming, it's just a beautiful track. It's beautiful.
I I know, right? One of the most beautiful soundtracks in the franchise, literally. And
If
I'm
only Valka sounds a lot like Soren's mother, Morella, in Legend of the Guardians.
oh yeah, and she's extremely similar.
Well,
Uh,
she kind of sounds a bit like. I know that they're played by different actors, but she sounds a lot like Kate Blanchett. Like I thought Claude was played by Gary Oldman because they do sound a bit similar.
oh yeah. Uh, 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 oh yeah, a little. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like Ryan Quanten is great. He's a great actor, no, I love the soundtrack. I love seeing Valka and Stoic's relationship. It really shows that the film really is going to be emotional. And I like how they gave it a few minutes before he dies. But yeah, did you know that Stoic actually says, "You, I watch you burn. It takes more than a little fire to kill me." Think again later on.
Oh yeah, and oh yeah, and later on, Stoic is killed by a little fire from Toothless.
But yeah, but after that we have Battle of the Bewildebeest. Now, this is where it goes similar to the Pure Ones versus the Guardians. There was a comparison on Instagram. Dragons beating up the crap out of other dragons, owls beating the crap out of Tydos. It is just, they're amazing fight scenes, and it's even similar to the Kung Fu Panda 2 and 3 final battles. And I love this. I love the soundtrack. It is so good.
Oh yeah, this track, Battle of the Wildebeest. What can I say? It's so epic. I'm like, this is one thing that How to Train Your Dragon 2 improved over the original. Not only does it have better emotional moments with characters, but it also has superior action sequences. This is one of the
It
great.
really does, because like you actually see like all these different fights, and then Drago like really getting annoyed could happen, and then when Drago goes to Hiccup, he goes Dragon Master. It really kind of gives me that kind of vibe. If Kai would have said that in Panda 3 when he goes, excuse me, he goes the Dragon Warrior. When he sees him like fighting, like I think they could have done that at the beginning, but I love this fight scene as well, and I love how it uses a bit of test drive in it. So well done.
I know, right? I was cheering throughout this track, and this battle, it's ever so dark for an animated movie. You see characters
It's
literally
violent as
dying and
well.
being killed
Oh,
off right in front of you. When Valky's B Wildebeest is stabbed, you're like, damn.
and then after that we have Hiccup confronts Drago, which is with Stoic saves Hiccup. Now I think the track it's so like deep when Drago says, "My family left with nothing, and now to buy the rug the fear of dragons, and remember it, people of this world." And then he goes, "You need dragons to conquer other dragons." And then it's so, and I like how Hiccup tries to confront him, and then Drago goes, "Learn from mother, you know, for a boy."
Oh yeah, yeah. This track is one of my top five favorite in the soundtrack. Also, I'm like, I was, it was like it was ever so terrifying when Hiccup was just chatting with Drago. You had no idea what Drago was gonna do to him, and
Yeah, and
Hiccup.
then he calls the Bewilderbeast.
Yeah, he calls the Bewildebeest and he possesses Toothless and orders Toothless to
And he
kill
goes,
Hiccup.
"Oh, I think I forget what he says." He like goes, and now, I can't. But now, I forget what he says.
Oh,
Oh,
he's like, no dragon can resist the Alpha's command, so he who controls the Alpha controls them all. With this true strength and will over others. In the face of it, you are nothing.
in the face of it, you are nothing. And it really, like, you get so worried for Hiccup, and then he's running, like, he's not even afraid that he could slip. He throws his axe, goes down to save his life, and then bang, it happens. It happens. It happens.
Oh
He's
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
dead.
yeah, but I was on the edge of my freaking seat in that moment. So I, I, I couldn't believe it. And
Everyone was like, it's so shocking. And then like I really wanted that in Kung Fu Panda 3 with Shifu being killed off.
oh yeah, 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 Shivu could have been killed off after Kai destroyed the Jade Palace.
That would have been amazing. But I love like Stoic's death as a whole. Like I'm not trying to be mean, but like it's so good and just it really makes you hate Drago. You hate him. He's such an asshole.
Yeah, you're like yeah, you're like Drago's a dick. And, he literally.
Fuck you, Drago. And then Drago, he's not even he doesn't take any hate. He just goes off and does whatever he does, just like what Metal Beak and Naira did.
Yep. Uh, he literally. Yeah, yeah, he showed no remorse for his actions, and Stoic's death. And what make it's similar to Mufasa's death in Lion King, as the villain kills off the protagonist's father. And this movie was also released on the Lion King's 20th anniversary. But and yeah, I was. Yeah, this track's also in my top five. This is
It'd be
what's.
in my top three. And then obviously there's the next one, Stoic Ship, which is his funeral. And this scene is so emotional, and it's so like heartbreaking to see like what happened to Stoic, and you really feel the emotion in Hiccup that his father dead, and now that he's so sad. Everyone's sad, like they're almost crying, and Hiccup tries his best not to cry, and then
Yeah, I know, right? It's as if our heroes have lost temporarily. Everybody's like, "Is there any hope left?" And that's what I love about How to Train Your Dragon 2. It's not afraid to have moments like Stoic's funeral. I'm like, we need more animated movies like this today. And
Exactly.
yeah, and
Like
then
a sequel to Legend of the Guardians is just as dark as this, and the first one in Kung Fu Panda 2. I really hope it's just as dark.
yeah, right. I'm yeah. Fingers crossed. That'll be epic. And then you have Hiccup's mother, Valka. She comforts Hiccup. She cheers him up. She's like, when you first came into this world, you were so fragile. I feared you wouldn't make it, but your father never doubted you, and he was right. So she inspires Hiccup to literally become the chief he was destined to be and get Toothless back and kick Drago's ass.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then Hiccup, and then obviously Hiccup goes and kick Drago's, and then heads up, and then go. And then he goes, that thing. And then what I love about it,
Yeah.
like it's so good. And then Valkyrie like says, "You have the heart of a chief and the soul of a dragon. Only you can you bring our two worlds together. That is who you are, son." And I really wanted that in Panda 3, where Shifu's dead and Poe, like Lee goes to Poe, you are destined to become the dragon warrior. That is why you were chosen to become a legendary kung fu warrior, and and you have the soul of Shifu's abilities. And
Oh,
I like how
oh yeah. Um. Exact. Oh yeah. Exactly. Oh yeah. If yeah, that could have been a a thought provoking quote for Kung Fu Panda 3. Yeah, but then they pick up on their then they ride the dragon babies who are immune to the alpha's control as a buck.
oh yeah, and they all start acting like idiots. But then after that, we have the final few tracks. We have Alpha comes to Burke, Toothless found, two new alphas, and where no one. And then, well, yeah, we'll talk about those three together. I love the final battle. I love how it's so dark and like Drago's nearly destroyed all of Burke, and I like how that like every character is like so like your chief is dead, and then every character like thinks, oh, no one's here, but then Hiccup and the Dragon Riders come and Aerith's with them, and then it's like so cool seeing like all of them. Like you get so excited when you hear Test Drive, and when they come and they go, hey, look, it's Hiccup, done, none, and I want to see that in the third movie. I really want to see that.
Me too. Yeah, Hiccup. But yeah, I want Hiccup to have an epic moment like that in the third movie, and then he confronts Drago, and Drago is about to order Toothless to kill Hiccup the second time, but then through his but then Hiccup reassures Toothless that it wasn't your fault, bud. They made you do it, and
I
Hiccup and
like
Two.
how Hiccup's actually like confident. He wasn't afraid to say that. Like that's real man stuff. Because usually, if that was someone else, they'd hate Toothless because the father's dead. But then Volk tells Hiccup it's not his fault. You know that, and it wasn't. It was Drago that killed him.
Exactly. Yeah. Valka helped Hiccup see sense, and once Toothless breaks free from Drago and the Alpha's control, finally, it shows that Hiccup and Toothless's friendship is stronger than any mind control, and that's beautiful. And oh man, it's
And
just
then obviously big battle where Toothless becomes the alpha. He's fighting off the other alpha, and then it ends off so epic when Hiccup gets on Toothless, and then all the dragons, and then obviously the fight scene with Hiccup and Toothless like flying through the alpha. It's so good. and it's such intense fight scenes, and I hope they improve on that in the third film. But I can't like I love the fight scenes, and I love two new alphas. Toothless has become the alpha, and my top three tracks would be two new alphas, Stoic Ship, and probably for the dancing and dreaming, and then where it goes be at number four. But I love this soundtrack, and now we have the final track, which is Where No One Goes. So Harry, what do you think of this beautiful song, Where No One Goes?
Where No One Goes. This is a classic, timeless song. It's certainly better than Sticks and Stones from the first movie. I'm like, this is more like it. And I cried at this song. I tears up once the movie was over because I didn't want it to end. It was so good. I'm like, bring on How to
And it was
Train. Yeah, I'm like, after this song, I was like, bring on How to Train Your Dragon 3 already.
oh, but we only have a few months until February. But
Finally.
I'm gonna be on soundtracks. I can't wait for How to Train Your Dragon 3 soundtrack. I can't fucking wait for it. Can't wait for the film. And I think like other DreamWorks movies coming out, like the recent ones, they're just Trolls. Eh.
Trolls sucks, and Boss Baby or Shit Baby, worst
Horrible,
movie they've ever done.
horrible. Underpants. It's but now Dragon 3 is finally out. It's gonna be a masterpiece. But yes, guys, that was our review for Dragon, and we shall see you guys for the third movie, hopefully, and maybe we'll do. Would you like to do Kung Fu Panda sometime, Harry?
I'd love to.
Yes, so we shall see you there. All right, we shall see you next time.